So therefore, one talaq is the sunnah. Now, you will say, some people might have heard this, which is to say that the way to give talaq is, give one talaq in each clean period. So now what's happening here? You are changing the system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, which is, you give one talaq, you don't want the woman, what must you do? Leave her alone. Just wait for the iddah to finish. She's gone. You are now changing the system. What are you doing? You are saying one talaq in the first clean period, second talaq in the second clean period, third talaq in the third clean period. Now she is irrevocably divorced. Now she cannot marry you, or you cannot marry her unless she marries somebody else and he divorces her in the normal course of things. Question is, why did you do that? You wanted to be free from the woman, so you were free. There was no problem. If you just gave one talaq and kept quiet, you would have been free. But you said, no. I want it so that it becomes irreconcilable, irrevocable. The justification that people give is that, we don't even want a chance of reconciliation. Now my question is, when Allah gave you a chance of reconciliation, why do you say you don't want a chance of reconciliation? Don't reconcile. I mean, understand this. Nobody is saying you have to reconcile. Don't reconcile, but how do you close a door which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened? Please understand, we are not talking here about the opinion of Ibn Taymiyyah or this one or that. We are talking about the ayat of the Quran. We are talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Jalla Jalaluhu. Allah opened the door for you. You had no need to close the door, but you decided to close the door. Then you might say, if that is the case, then why do we call this, or why do the ulama call this Hasan Talaq, good Talaq? There is a confusion in the mind of the people. People say, you see all this, and especially the Hanafi ulama say, so we say all Hanafi ulama are crazy. They are not crazy. We are crazy because we don't understand what they are saying. Hasan compared to giving 3 talaq in one sitting, which is haram. You understand the point? It's not Hasan compared to the Ahsan, which is to give 1 talaq. It is Hasan compared to giving. Now here you are shooting off talaq like, the Wild West, and bang, bang, bang from the. They are saying, don't do that. If you are so adamant, if you are so completely crazy about this thing, then at least do it like this. Are they recommending this? Are they saying this is the way? No. What is the way? The way is 1 talaq, leave her alone for 3 months, she's gone, khalas, salam alaikum. But if you are so adamant, now you might say, what is the need even to say that? Wallahi, that is a question which I am not going to answer. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to do that which is pleasing to Him. Definitely this causes confusion, and therefore maybe because it was meant like this and explained like this, somebody now short circuits it and give all the 3 at one go. Confusion happens. Simplest thing is, stick to the correct way, which is 1 talaq in the clean period. There is no confusion, there is no problem. That is the kitab, that is the sunnah, stick to that. But how did this come to happen? This is the way it came to happen. Now, the important thing in here is to understand that why at all did people, and there is a hadith in the Raqutni which talks about this, and Imam Malik and others considered that hadith to be weak. Imam Malik said this is a bid'ah, and it goes against all the evidence. However, one of the great ulama of fiqh of the Hanafi madhab, Allama ibn Humam, who was the student of Hafiz ibn al-Hajar al-Asqalani, the person who wrote Bulugh al-Maram, which is the book of hadith which is used for extraction of rulings. So one of the great ulama, Ibn Humam, rahmatullahi alayhi, he also wrote a book called Fathul Qadir, which is like an encyclopedia of fiqh. So it's a very great alim. Now what he said very simple. The thing to understand is that the purpose of the faqih, the purpose of the mufti is to try to make things easy for the public, not to make them difficult. So therefore sometimes they won't make halal into haram and haram into, they will not do that. But they will give you room until the boundary. This does not mean they are recommending that. It just means that if you are in this position of being stuck, then we allow you to do that. For example, on a side note, one of the things that is happening right now in India is that our Hanafi ulama, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them, when cases like this come of triple talaq, they come to them, they tell them, go and make ruju with the ulama of Ahlul Hadith, who consider 3 to be 1. Why are they doing that? Why don't they give a straight Hanafi fatwa to say haram? Because they want to give you some room. Their logic is, the person coming with this thing, the person probably doesn't understand what is Hanafi, what is Shafi and so on. So let us give them the benefit of doubt. If there is some room for them to get out of the problem, we give them the room for the problem. We don't say, I am a Hanafi, therefore this is my fatwa. No. We say, why don't you go to the Ahl Hadith people, you take your masala there and they will solve it for you, inshallah. So this is unofficially it is happening. Alhamdulillah, there is enough of an understanding among our ulama. They are doing that. May Allah bless them. But this is the reason why opening. So now Allah ibn Humam rahmatullah said was that the reason for allowing this, giving 1 talaq in each clean period, he said the heart is a strange thing. It comes and goes. Love happens and it goes away. So he said, okay, you give 1 talaq and then give it some time, and then in the next period, if it still things are not sorted out, okay, give another talaq. Having said all of this, are they saying this is the correct way to do that? This is what you should know. Nobody said that. Correct way is 1 talaq in the clean period. Why is this hasan? It is hasan compared to giving 3 talaqs in 1 sitting, about which all of the ulama are of the opinion that this is something which is prohibited, except Imam Shafi'i. They all said it is haram. It is haram with Imam Abu Hanifa, it's haram with Imam Malik, it's haram with Imam Ahmad, with Ibn Taymiyyah and so on and so forth. Imam Shafi'i said, we don't use the word haram. He didn't say it is permitted, you should do it, wonderful thing, go on. No. He said we don't use the word haram. Why? Because Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi was of the opinion, which was shared with people like Ibn Abbas and Imam Malik and so on. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, famous, one of his quotes, he said that we do not call haram anything which Allah has not called haram in His kitab. Right? So that doesn't mean that everything else is halal. No. The word haram. Why? Because in Islam, if somebody deliberately does something which is haram, that person is committing kufr. So the Aimma, the ulama say, we don't want to push somebody to a point where the person now is exited from Islam altogether. So we say, no, but that does not mean this is a good thing. Of course it's not a good thing. You are punishable, you should be punished. There's no doubt about that. But Imam Shafi'i said, we don't say it is haram. But Imam Abu Hanifa and others, rahmatullah alayhi ajmain, they all said, no, this is haram. You cannot sit and give 3 talaq at one go. Now, having said that, you might say, well, if it is haram, then why is it valid? Simple way to explain that is this. Is it halal to shoot somebody if you don't like someone, you have a ikhtilaf? Is it halal, is it permissible in Islam to kill the person? No. But if you shoot somebody, will he die? Of course. So you can't say, well, you know what, I shot him, but he is not dead because I never intended that. No. You did something, it has an effect. But should you have done that? Is your action halal? No. Should you be punished for the action? Of course. That is the easiest way to understand why giving 3 talaqs in one go is haram, but it is valid. Except with Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayhi, where Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayhi said that it is not valid, it is only one, because he said it's like writing on water. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed, you can't say anything else other than that. And as far as that is concerned, 3 equals 3. Now you might say, well, why did the others say something else? I'll give you understand that. All the other people, they went, the best way to understand this is Umar ibn al-Khattab radhiyallahu anhu's understanding of things. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radhiyallahu anhu used to say that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was alive, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the knowledge of people's intentions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him who are the munafiqun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said who are the people whose intentions are wrong, and so on and so forth. Umar ibn al-Khattab radhiyallahu anhu said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not with us anymore, so now we don't understand people's intentions. We will go by what we can see. So if a person is praying, we say he's a Muslim. Whereas with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, people were praying, but Allah said they are not Muslim. وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah said they are not Muslim. But the man is praying. Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul, the chief of the Munafiqun, he prayed every salah behind Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from Takbir Ula. But Allah said he is not a Muslim. But Sayyidina Umar said, this is for the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He used to get wahi. He knew. I do not know. As far as I am concerned, the man is praying, I will say he is a Muslim. What is his intention? Does he have ikhlas, no ikhlas? I do not know. I do not go into that. That is not my job. I have no means of knowing. As long as whatever is I see, I will bear witness to that. Taking that hadith, some ulama said that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to ask the intention. If the man's intention was to say 1 or 3, then based on the intention, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to give, because he knew the intention of the person, so he would allow it. So therefore, as far as we are concerned, if the man said his intention is to give 3 in one sitting, we say it is 3, matter is over. Right? Ibn Taymiyyah Rahmatullah said, as far as we are concerned, we go by what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ruled. What did he rule? He said he ruled that 3 equals 1. Now, what was the intention of Rukana and so on? We do not know, we do not care. As far as we are concerned, he ruled 3 equals 1, therefore 3 equals 1. I am saying all of this to you, not so that you go and fight with somebody. I am saying this to you so you understand the background of the reason why it is. It is not as if our ulama are all crazy or they want to create problems for us. No. There is a reason why the ulama have ruled, and both of these reasons, as I said, I am not here to debate the points. Both these reasons, alhamdulillah, they have dalail, so they are correct. However, what still remains? What is the correct way to give talaq? 1 talaq in the clean period. Don't lose that. That is the correct way to give talaq, no matter whose ruling was what, because all of them are agreed on that particular matter. Now, points to note therefore is that this is Hasan compared to giving 3 talaq only. Trying to make it irreconcilable equals excess. Therefore, it is not Hasan with regard to the other thing. 1 talaq is permanent, because to get married again or not is up to you. So how permanent is it? It is as permanent as you want it to be. You gave 1 talaq in the clean period, you are separated, you never have to marry that woman again ever, she never has to marry you again ever, it is permanent. And at the same time, 3 is not necessarily permanent, because after 3, all that happens is, you can't marry her until she marries somebody and gets divorced again. But once she gets married to somebody and gets divorced again, can you marry her again? Of course. So how is that permanent? So saying that this is irreconcilable, irrevocable, yes, irrevocable at that particular point only. But after she's gone, she marries somebody else, the person dies or she gets divorced, you can marry her again. So 1 is permanent, and 3 is not necessary. 1 is permanent and 3 is not necessarily permanent. Best way is keep to the Kitab and Sunnah. And one of the problems of that is what has started happening, and this again also happened in the past. And Ibn Taymiyyah Rahmatullah has a good opinion on this. I'll explain that to you. It's what is called halala, which is actually harama. Because it is not, what is this halala? This halala, again, I am explaining this only to show how bad it is. I mean, I am not teaching you to do this. I mean, please understand this. Halala is a system where a person divorces this woman, and then he realizes, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. I want her back. But now he's given this 3 talaq in one go, so it's irrevocable. She's gone. So what does he do? He has an agreement with somebody else and says, look, marry this woman for one night and then divorce her. Right? So this is my agreement with you. Maybe I even pay him some money to do that. Because why will he do that? So here's some money, divorce that. So now what are you doing? You are doing something which is clearly, I mean, may Allah protect us, I don't know what to call it. I mean, you're giving some money to somebody else to sleep with your wife. I mean, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. How bad is that? Ibn Taymiyyah Rahmatullah said, this thing called halala, he said this is even worse than muta. Because he said that muta at least used to be halal at one point in time in the Sharia before Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made it haram. He said this so-called halala has never been halal in any Sharia of any Nabi. No one ever had it. So you are making, so this is completely and totally haram. So if somebody says halala, correct them and say harama. It is not halal. It is totally and completely haram. So this is a very big issue that we must understand. Now, why did all this happen? Because you start with the first strong. You start with the triple talaq, you put yourself into a problem. Now to get out of the problem, you create one more problem. So if you had not done that, if you had given only one talaq, and then you realize, oh my God, I gave a talaq, no problem, call her back, she's come back. Even if the period is over, she's gone home, you want to go marry her again, go make a second nikah, and you are done. There is no need for any of this gymnastics, no need for falling into haram. All of this happened only because you start with something which is wrong. Now, why is the triple talaq still valid? First and foremost, that's why I started with the issue of the Islamic marriage. The triple talaq is valid because the purpose of the Sharia is the person who plays with the Sharia must be punished. That itself tells you that giving 3 talaq in one sitting is playing with the Sharia. It is not jais. Otherwise, why are you punishing the person? If that was the correct way, why are you punishing the person? Every imam of every madhab is clear on this, that giving 3 talaq in one sitting is not permissible. Whether it is haram or it is not haram, the majority of them say it is haram, except Imam Shafi rahmatullah. And I explained to you why he said that. So they say the man is playing games with the Sharia. Here is the Sharia method, one time talaq in the clean period. He is playing games, so he should be punished. How is it punishment? This is where we come to the issue of wedding. It's a punishment in the Islamic Sharia. If the wedding was done in the Islamic way, where the man incurred all the expense, so now you say, alright, you pay this game, get out. She is home and dry, she is fine, next day she gets married to somebody else, you are stuck, now you want another marriage, you have to go through all of this again. But unfortunately in our country, we have turned this on its head. So in India, the woman is getting punished, the man is not getting punished. So the maqsad of the Sharia is not being achieved. She is getting punished, poor thing, because she is the one who spent all the money. Now this man said talaq, 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 he's gone home, and she is landed with this whole big problem. So the purpose why it is valid is to punish the man, because he intended it and he did it. So why should it not be taken as valid? This is the argument that is given by the scholars. Alhamdulillah, it's a valid argument. So therefore, please understand, if you give talaq 3 times in one sitting to your wife, she is gone. Goodbye. I might say, well, I'm Ahl Hadith and therefore I follow Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah's fatwa. Most welcome, no problem. That also is valid. But the majority of the ulama will tell you that 3 talaq in one sitting is gone. Now, issue is, in Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah's case, what did he say? He said, whether he intended it or not, a system cannot be changed. And because of someone's intention. Therefore, it is not valid. Haram cannot be valid. That is Ibn Taymiyyah. So I am just giving you the 2 positions. I am again not debating the 2 positions. I am not telling you which is right, which is wrong. Alhamdulillah, both of them are correct. Both of them have their own dalail. But as I said, neither of them says that giving 3 talaq in one sitting is correct or that is the right thing to do. It is not the right thing to do. And because of our systems today in India for marriage, the woman is being punished. Therefore, I began by saying that talaq and marriage in India, the whole problem is twofold. Both are intrinsically linked. You cannot separate the two. Unless you straighten out your marriage situations, the talaq will always be an issue. Even one talaq will still be an issue, because after the 3 cycles, the man is gone with saying one talaq. She still landed with the same problem because she gave a dowry and this and that and that. So her problem still remains. Even if he gives talaq according to the sunnah way, the problem does not go away, because the problem is rooted in the way the marriage was done. So we have to deal with both. We have to stop ostentatious haram weddings if we want to deal with the talaq issue.